Actually, I think there's pesticides used in the black market for sure, and like small farmers. There's like an ideal image that I like and we like that is like organic, sun grown, this, that, and the other. But then there's a lot of also black market or medical regime cannabis that was sprayed with like a bunch of stuff that you probably don't want to inhale. In terms of like a bigger operations, economies of scale coming into cannabis, cannabis is definitely heavily regulated against pesticides, probably more than other agricultural products because you are, combusting it and inhaling it. But it's easy to, find a lab that's going to test your product and give you like a clean bill of health, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But these big farms, a lot of times they're not able to produce the quality that people are looking for because it's hard to do that on a huge scale, especially when there hasn't been the kind of breeding work to produce plants that will be able to deliver, like a fancy photogenic cannabis nug on a huge scale.
Right.
So a lot of actually what happens in these big farms is that cannabis is produced for not for flower, but for biomass. So they'll go in, they'll harvest all the plants. There's no trimming or anything going on. And they'll immediately take it to a facility to extract all of the constituents of the plant, the cannabinoids, the terpenes, and then they'll put it into gummies, into vape pens, and et cetera, So flower is still an important part of the market. It has a, considerable market share. But when you look at what is on the rise, it's definitely these products that come from concentrates.
That's what you smoke, gummies. Right?
I vape or eat edibles more than I smoke. Not a big smoker.
Yeah.
Do you know, is that, it's probably a both and, but I'm curious if that push is coming from production, right? Or manufacturing, like if you're seeing it on that end, because what you're saying makes sense, right? That you can't at scale produce these beautiful like flowers to send out into the, into the marketplace or whatever, but you can extract really quickly and efficiently at scale.
And store it.
And ship it and all of those things.
Exactly.
Or is it coming from the consumer end, right? Like, is it being driven? Because I'm curious, because I think that like the consumer now, this always happens in any kind of like, in a legal market, right? Is that like novelty becomes the thing that drives consumer preference as the market gets flooded with more and more product.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure if it's, because there's also all these middlemen, right? There's the person who is processing, extracting it, and then there's the distributor, and then there's the dispensary. And I'm not exactly sure at what point of that chain there is, like, who's making the decision that certain things are going to be diverted into certain products and not other ones. And if the consumer really wants that. Okay, for example, I think recently, like, pre-rolls are gaining market share.
Oh, yeah, like pre-rolled joints,
exactly.
Right?
So
they have like dad ones too. I've seen, because it's always in the like Grazia like squiggle olive oil brand.
Yeah.
That's
tin
like
fish.
Oh, it's like tin fish dad. We like, oh, don't worry.
They sold that shit in LA.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a convenience thing. It's like flour wasn't increasing in market share because people don't know how to roll a joint. I don't know. Who knows why? But it's definitely the larger scale farms are going to extraction most of all. And it's not like this a romantic like trimming kind of thing that happens anymore.
Jeffrey Epstein.